Good morning, everyone. Yeah. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our lesson today of TV2. And this is okay. We set up. Yeah, our lesson today we're taking our focus into the digital television versus the analog television. Yeah, some of us may not know what is analog television. Analog is that old kind of television. What did I do? Okay. All right. I have just, yeah. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah. Analog and digital. Yeah, digital television. Let me say analog, sorry about that. Analog television was that kind of signal that we have like back in the days, like it ran up to the late 90s, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, because I remember in 2002, not 2006, when we applied for the community television, it was the applications were put to a halt by then, owing to the digital migration from analog to digital. Yes, yeah, in my experience, the digital broadcast or even digital video and television, yeah, it was quite a challenge because I remember when I used to make videos, I used my VHS. VHS, I think I've got some videos of VHS tapes, which were like big. And they have challenges because over time, when they didn't have a longer shelf life because it was VHS. VHS stands for Video Home System, and there were like three types of VHS systems. There's the VHS, which was standard VHS, and then there was the VHS-C, which was compact, smaller type of smaller size of VHS tape, and then there was the Super VHS, which was industrial and sometimes could be compatible with the broadcast standard. Yeah, that was of the high quality on the VHS range. Yeah, and there was also in the analog family, there was also the so-called a Betacam. Betacam, there was a Betacam that is consumer-based that can be used on just like the VHS, and also the Betacam SP, which was used for broadcast standard like your SABC, your Mnet back then. And then there was also what was the other one? Was it Matrix or U-Matrix or something like that? Yeah, U-Matrix. That was also a broadcast standard. And then there was the Betacam when there was this digital age coming up. Then the Betacam upgraded into DigiBeta, which was also a magnetic tape, like your ordinary sound tape or audio tape. It has that magnetic strip. Yeah. So there was this DigiBeta, which was also used by the broadcast stations like the SABC and your analog, your Mnets and your ETVs. Yeah, and those the cameras that time they were so bulky, they were heavy. But come to the VHS-C. VHS-C had a much smaller camera because it takes a very small tape. And there was the high 8 on the VHS analog family, which was a bit compact, slightly smaller than the VHS-C. Yeah, before we moved on to digital, when digital took over, we had the DVDs. With DVDs, they also had their own camcorder that took DVDs, and there was the small DVD, which was also compact, smaller than the usual DVDs as well. And DVD cameras were a bit smaller than the VHS. Yeah, the challenge with the VHS, the analog system, it was, see, on editing, it was quite a daunting task because you had those VHS players, recorders, that's the playback system. Yeah, it was quite a daunting task because if you were editing, you couldn't move swiftly to in between shots. You have to like rewind, fast forward, and sometimes you miss the shot and then you come back. And yeah, and doing that it's kind of detrimental to the equipment, especially to the tape, because it kind of loses quality whilst you're doing that back and forth, rewinding backwards, rewinding forward, and fast forwarding. Yeah, and also the digital television, the broadcast transmission as well, it was also a challenge because in the analog signal was so bulky and it couldn't maintain the traveling through a long distance, because as it travels through distance, the picture and sound quality kind of deteriorates. And by the time it reaches the home, your television set at home, it's the sound quality is not very good, and the picture quality as well is not very good. But whereas the digital transmission, it didn't matter, or it doesn't matter how long it have to travel over the distance, and this is not. Sometimes it's not affected by the weather and stuff like that. Yeah, I think I have some. Let me just check. Let me just check here if I have. I think I had. Yeah. Thank you. I have some pictures of the VHS. Yeah, here are the pictures of VHS. Let me just check. Yes. Yes, these are the VHS. This one here is the VHS tape, all these. They used to have like the running time. They range from 30 minutes to 60 minutes and to 90 minutes. And when you want to the running time to be longer, you could adjust it on your camera. But if you make the 30 minutes from standard play to long play, it becomes 60 minutes. But the thing is, it loses picture quality. Yeah, the sound is kind of off, and it still stay the same, more or less, but the quality is not the same if you adjust the length of the tape. Yeah, and also it's the 30, the 60, and the 90. And here we have the high 8. The high 8 as well. It was much better than the picture quality was better than the VHS. And then also we have the VHS-C. The VHS-C, which is the brother or the little brother of the VHS. Yeah, so it's just that it was a bit smaller. But if you want to put it on the playback system like your VCR, it needs to be the same size as the VHS. So you need an adapter, which is the one at the top here. Yeah, and then this is the camera. This was quite small, but it didn't have like our digital camera have the monitor that flips out. You only have this eyepiece. Yeah, some of those VHS, the thing is when went on, they did have the monitor that you could watch while instead of watching from through the eyepiece. Yeah, that was such a difference. Yeah, and this one is the Betacam, the Betacam home system, and then there will be the Betacam broadcast, but they were the same size. Just that's the broadcast quality. This one, Betacam SP, is the broadcast quality. Yeah, and then you also have the one, the smaller one, the Betacam, which is like it was the same as your VHS-C. It's just the same quality, but it's much smaller. Yeah, and this here, this one here, this is your VHS. Your VHS camera. It's kind of works as the camcorder, where you can record your listing, where you could record your video, and at the same time you can plug it into your TV and watch your footage. And also when you are editing, but you also need to have a VCR where you're going to record. So you need a television to see this. Most of the time, you need, say, if you're editing, you need 2 television sets. The one that you can view your recorded footage, your captured footage, and then the one that is the output. So it was quite a daunting task. It's not like today when you can like put your footage at your laptop or your computer, and then you can see everything on your timeline. Here there was no timeline. It just you plug it in, you watch it on your TV monitor, and then you have your VCR, your recording VCR, and then you plug it into your monitor where you see the recorded output. This one here is the Super VHS, but in Super VHS-C, which is equivalent of the Super VHS. All right. Now, want to share with you some other stuff here. Okay. Yes. Yeah. So today, okay, like before, the TV sets as well. The TV sets were bulky. Everything on analog. They used to be like huge, big. Even the TV sets, there were some bigger TV sets. If you need a big screen, you get a bigger TV set that sometimes you can't carry it alone. You need maybe a second person who could help you carry it because it was heavy and it was bulky, right? And it had this huge hump at the back. That was called the cathode ray. It was transmitting on a cathode ray. It's called CRT. Yeah, CRT, cathode ray 2. Whereas today you have your flat screen, your flat screen, which is an LED screen, or sometimes it's an LCD screen. The LED will stand for the light emitting diode, and the LCD is liquid crystal display. So this is our this thing. The difference between the analog television and the digital television. Now let's look at some, I think I've got some videos here that I can show you. Let's check. We're gonna check here on my listings. On my, I have, can't find them. and find them. Where are they? This one. Let me check. Yes, I got them. Yeah. Yeah, this is the video I want to share with you. The digital versus analog. Let me remove my picture over there.
Traditional analog television was developed in the late 1930s and standardized in 1941. Color was added to the system in 1953. The signal that is conveyed over the air for traditional analog television is made up of three carriers: a visual carrier, a chroma carrier, and an aural carrier. You can see that the signal does not totally use the entire band and therefore is not totally efficient in the 6 megahertz channel. On the other hand, digital television was developed in the 1990s, conveys ones and zeros that represent the picture and the sound that are high quality. The signal that conveys this utilizes the channel very efficiently. As you can see, it uses up almost the entire 6 megahertz channel and can be conveyed at a lower transmitted power, providing the same coverage and service area as digital television. Let's take a look at what's happening in your analog set right now, though, because that's what you're watching. Analog television has been around, as Gary said, for quite some time. What I'm showing here is a block diagram of what's inside your TV set. Please, you're not a TV repair person. Don't go inside your set to check this stuff. But what I have here is an antenna that's receiving all of the services that are within range. That antenna doesn't care if it's analog or digital. It's receiving all of those services and delivering them to the back of the television set. So at the back of the TV set, the first thing you come to is the tuner. The tuner's job is to select one of the services. That's what you do when you change channels. If you're selecting an analog channel, this television set knows what to do. It takes the video off of that channel. It delivers it to some circuitry that it uses to process, lets you adjust the color, the chroma, those things that you do to improve the image quality, and then delivers it to the display so you can watch it. It does a similar process with the audio. It pulls the audio off, determines whether it's stereo left and right, sends it to some circuits to let you adjust the volume, amplifies it, and sends it to the speaker or speakers in your set. This lets you watch and listen to television. On February 17th of next year, analog services go away, but everything in this television set continues to work just fine. So if you have a VCR, a DVD player, those components that you're currently using now, those components continue to work just fine. The only thing that's changed is that there are no longer analog services being delivered to this antenna, and this tuner doesn't know what to do with the digital-only services that are available.
Okay. Yeah, that's just about it. About the differences between the analog transmission and the.
Let's talk a little bit about the path these signals take to your house. Since we've already told you that we're using the same television bands, same television channels, they're the same size, it shouldn't be a surprise to anyone that the paths they take are the same. On this graphic here, we're showing you the broadcast band. And if you'll notice, in the green, we're showing the television channels. One of the things you should notice is that even though on the television dial they're right next to each other, in reality, they're actually separated. In between.
Yeah. Thanks about that. Yeah, I wanted to stop that one. Yeah. I need to get to another one. Need to get to another one. Okay. Just lost it. Just lost it. Okay, let's carry on with this one. I think we are still
channel.
Okay, let's start afresh. Come on. let's say. No, no, I think it's the same one. So we need to move on to the next one. Yes, we need to move on to the next one. Got it.
Now it's finally. We are on the brink of making TV history. We are in the final minutes of broadcasting in analog. At 12:30, we will officially make the switch to digital TV. Bill Ritter rejoins us from one of our control rooms as we count down to the big moment. Bill?
Not just one of our control rooms, the place where we're going to push the switch, and you're going to see that in less than 2 minutes. This really is a historic moment, Ken and Lori. The hourglass on analog runs out. You know, most people in the tri-state, overwhelming majority, already have digital. But there was always a choice in the matter. That choice is no more as of 12:30. It is really a big way, a big change in the way we communicate. It's been more than 80 years since the invention of television, and really few things have changed our lives more. In the first years of commercial broadcasting, TV was limited to just a few live programs and newsreels, a few hours a day. Color changed the landscape dramatically, and then cable turned TV on its ear. Some of us remember when television stations used to sign off wee hours in the morning. That doesn't happen anymore. And even though analog TV is going away and the new digital Channel 7 is taking its place, Channel 7 and Eyewitness News will still be here, be part of your life for all the future history yet to come. Well, we are getting ready. I'm going to turn my back a little bit to you. We have about 35 seconds until this happens. Now, for those of you who already have digital, who have cable, who have Fios, who have a satellite, you're not going to see anything. We are going to be here the same as we always have. For those of you who have analog, in about 25 seconds, 20 seconds or so, your signal will go off. If you have a converter box, you're going to need to reboot that converter box. We've been talking to you a lot about that. We want no viewer left behind. This is a change in the way we communicate, and in about 10 seconds, the old analog way that has ushered in television for the last 60 to 70 years will be no more. We're going to count down to 4, 3. Bill Beam is going to push the button over here. 2, 1. Bill, push the button. Should be on, and the Digital 7 should be coming on. Digital 7 should be coming on. Now, if you have digital television already, nothing's changed. You've just seen our control room. Our digital era has now begun. Congratulations. We should be singing the Old Lang Syne. Where's the balloons and the ball drop? I feel like Ryan Seacrest here. If you have a converter box, we hope we scan it, because right now you will not be seeing anything. If you're at work watching this, if you're at someone else's house watching this, and you have a converter box at home, when you get home, make sure that you rescan and reboot your digital converter box, because that's the only way. Because we've done this signal switch, I'm not going to do all the PhD stuff to explain why you need to do this, but trust me, you need to reboot your converter box so you'll be able to see us and all your favorite Channel 7 programs and ABC and Eyewitness News beginning at 5 o'clock today. This is an historic day, Ken and Lori. We are now 1 minute and 6 seconds into the total digital era. Analog is so pre-12:30. We say goodbye to that. So I felt the takeaway at 12:30. I hope you all did too. Absolutely. We are still the same Channel 7.
That's
and we
right.
thank all of you for being here for all these many decades. And we hold hands and march together into this new digital era. Who knows what life has to hold for us.
Feel kind of hip, don't you?
I feel so cool right now. You look so pure like that. Thank you.
All right, sir. And of course, it is an exciting time. We're going to be with you every step of the way.
And if you have friends and neighbors, family members who are having problems with the transition, you want to pass the information along, our phones will be here Saturday today and all over the weekend to ensure.
Okay, now, folks, thank you for that insightful video. As you could see the difference, like practically now, you saw the difference between analog and the digital signal transmission. On your screen, the one on your left, because that is analog, and the one on the right is digital. You could see that the digital is brighter and the analog is a bit flickering, and the picture quality is not so good. It's kind of, yeah, and it has some lines in it, because I think one of the reasons is that analog has a very heavy signal, and as it travels along through distance, it's kind of the picture quality and the sound quality kind of deteriorates along the way. But the good news is, if you still have those bulky cathode ray tube television, you could go to the outlets. Here in South Africa, we're lucky because the government is giving away those set-top boxes to older people, and at a very low price to the general public, that you can put and connect into your old cathode ray tube, and then you can convert your analog television into digital. So it goes from the transmitter via your set-top box into your television, and this is where your analog signal is distributed, and it conveys the message to your cathode ray tube that it must transform from digital to from analog to digital. So it's kind of making life easy, rather than you going to buy those most expensive LED and LCD TVs. Yeah. I have the one, the last one now that I need to share with you. That I need to share with you. Let me just look for it. Okay.
So the viewers can keep watching.
Come on. Not that. Not that. Not this. Okay. Let me stop sharing this. Yes. And get this one and see if I need it. I'm get dinosaur here. Becoming a dinosaur. Can't find my video. It's not this one. No. Not this one. Not this one. I'm going around in circles here to find this. Let's minimize this so I can get to.
Since its first incarnation as a children's book series back in 1986, the Magic School Bus has been.
I've got it. Yeah, got it now. Sorry about that, folks. Yeah, this is it. This is how it happened when you fish on your TV back in the day. You get these color bars, and even with your video camera, you get these color bars as well. These were like setting up your. Today we're doing the white balance, so it was this color coding. So where your video camera is trying to calibrate itself in order to get this good color.
Step one, disconnect your TV antenna from the TV and connect it to the antenna-in coaxial jack on your converter box. If your set of antenna use a 300 ohm flat wire.
Broadcasting has come to a long way from fuzzy analog signals to crystal clear digital transmissions. In this documentary, we explore how the shift from analog to digital revolutionized the way we receive television and radio. Broadcasting has changed a lot over the years, especially when it comes to picture and sound quality. In the early days, people watched black and white TV shows on small screens with blurry images and weak sound.
Will you have your man go with this last? I'll take care of it, Lucky. Certainly, Rick. Anything you say. Prime Minister Nazo is like to put it on the fridge.
These were analog signals, which were easily affected by things like weather or how far you are from the broadcast station. In the 1970s and 80s, color television became more common.
Kel Welch, and you're watching on Quasar 2 Color TV.
But the picture still wasn't very sharp, and interference was still a big problem. Things started to improve in the early 2000s when digital broadcasting was introduced. This brought better picture quality with fewer interruptions. The first step was standard definition, or SD, which was a big improvement over analog. After that came high definition, or HD, which gave us sharper images, brighter colors, and better sound.
I don't want to go.
Then came 4K Ultra HD, which made everything look much clearer and more realistic, like watching a movie at the cinema. Today, we have 8K resolution, which is even more detailed. With 8K, you can see tiny details like the texture of someone's skin or the individual leaves on a tree. From the old days of fuzzy black and white screens to today's ultra-clear digital displays, the journey of broadcast quality shows just how much technology has improved the way we see and hear the world. Analog signals are continuous waves that vary over time, capturing real-world data like sound and light. Digital signals, on the other hand, convert this data into binary code for more reliable transmissions. Analog broadcasting consumes more bandwidth and is prone to interference. Digital broadcasting compresses data, allowing multiple channels to share the same frequency band with minimal signal degradation. As we conclude, the transition from analog to digital broadcasting has reshaped our media landscape, delivering sharper images, clearer sound, and more channels. As technology continues to evolve, digital remains the foundation of modern communication.
Yeah, thank you, folks. We've come to the end of that video, and trusting that
The difference
you have
between analog and digital.
come on. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, we are just coming to the end of our lesson. So you have come to know how the analog and digital television differs, and that digital has made life easier, and everything is much, I can say, cheaper and more easier and efficient than analog. Yeah, and there was one scenario back in the day. It was even before the analog tapes was invented. Back in the day, cinema used to use films, like those film strips, that the 8mm, 16mm, and 35mm. Yeah, some filmmakers, they say a film is still better. I'm not sure about that. I never used films in my entire career. Yeah, but there was a filmmaker that said he gave a very sad story of these using film strips, because the film was used to shoot on go on set. You shoot your footage, and then you send that to the lab where it's going to be developed and cut and assembled together, and then I don't know what the process was, but it was very daunting task because everything was like done manually. So like the cutting, when you assemble the footage, you used to cut like with the scissors, cut like literally cutting and then join the strip together. And then they did some of their magic to get the picture flowing correctly. But what happened on set during their shooting? They shot the footage, and then they had to send it for development to the lab. And what happened is mistakenly, and that was a very expensive mistake because they were shooting here in South Africa, and then they have to ship that the thing is to the UK, the cans to the UK for development. And what happened is they took the empty cans that they haven't touched, they haven't used in capturing any footage. They sent it to the lab for development, and then they were left with the entire footage here. And then they reused that footage, and then that footage, that roll of film was damaged because it was already been used. And whereas they have sent the fresh one that has no images on it, they sent it for development. And this site, they discovered that this footage has been used, and then the lab discovered that that's a can that they sent to them for development was empty, was blank. So it cost the production the entire reshoot. So that's the story. That's the sad story about this from that time, because they couldn't do a replay at the same time to see where they've gone wrong and what is in that hole. So it was a disaster. But nowadays we have digital. You have your data wrangler can just review the footage instantly, and then they can tell the director that no, we need to take a reshoot or whatever, and then everything can be rectified timelessly and before everyone goes offset. So digital film production has made life easy for filmmakers. Yeah, I think that's it for now, folks. We'll see you next time on the next lesson. The next lesson, I think we are going to explore our using the camera, our camera work, because as I watched your footage the last time from your latest assignment, yeah, I'm not quite happy with the way you guys have used the camera. So I'm going to do a lesson on that, and then we need to do some practical lessons, like the practical workshop on how to use the camera, how to take, like we discussed on the 5 C's of cinematography. That is what we must do now. Okay, yeah. Thanks a lot. That is for me for now. It's a wrap, and adios.